strings again. So last week I put a set of Dior Black Beauty strings on here. I'd had issues with Dior strings in the past, but I wanted to give them another shot. And having put the black strings on, they look kind of cool. They did flake all over the guitar a little bit like the other Dior strings I tried. And the tuning was a little bit better because I took care to make sure that I was winding enough on the tuning heads to allow a bit more friction. But I still had some tuning issues. In particular, one of the strings just kind of was always just a little bit flat, and then I would just keep nudging it and it would just go a little sharp because it just, I don't even really know why that was happening. I think it was because of how much of the string I wound on the tuning head to try to make sure that I was generating some friction, because those Dior coated strings, there's not as much friction there because they're very smooth. And being frustrated with constantly having tuning issues, I just decided to take the strings back off there. So a bit unprecedented for me to change the strings so frequently, but this is a new set, and these are called Cleartone. So the Cleartone treated strings, nickel plated, and it says that they are 36% louder and also 48% more sustain. I'm a bit skeptical when you can measure percentage loud and sustain with that kind of accuracy. And I don't know whether I'm conducting my own measurements, but I can say that they're pretty cool strings. They're pretty, they're kind of warm. Perfectly great strings. So a very short video. I just wanted to say, you know, having looked at a couple of Dior strings and being kind of unsatisfied that so far these Cleartone seem pretty special. I really do like them. Part of what I'm learning a lot about right now in my music school is I'm playing a little bit more jazz than I've ever played before, and what I find with jazz, they're teaching me so much stuff in this school. You know, I'm doing these jazz lines, and they were like, stop, there's no vibrato on the lead melody in jazz. So, okay, that's completely unknown to me. But this is cool stuff to learn. But without the protection of vibrato and a pedal board of 20 pedals and maybe a lot of distortion or anything else I'm maybe used to using, the tone can sound a little bit flat. So I've really been trying to find a nice tone for jazz that's very clean. I'm adding a little chorus and a little reverb, and I'm trying to add a little more of the bass, and I've actually started using a Timmy distortion pedal just to cut some of the treble frequencies. So I'm trying to find that right tone. The reason I'm saying this is because maybe strings have something to do with this as well, and what I found is last night when I went to practice with my beginners jazz trio, we're all kind of learning as we go, these strings were on the guitar, and it was one of the first sessions where I felt pretty comfortable with the tone. So I'm not relying on a lot of effects to build tone. I'm really relying on touches of effects just to muffle and make it a little bassier and add a tiny slice of chorus and not a whole lot of reverb. So a lot more comes down to how the guitar and the amp sound on their own. And with the Cleartone strings, I was pretty happy with that, pretty happy with how it sounded. So far so good. Maybe I found a set of strings that I can actually live with as opposed to the last couple that I tried. Yep, they sound pretty good. So that's all I got this week. Just really quick video. Just wanted to report back on stuff I'm learning as I go and testing stuff out. So if you like what you see on the channel, don't forget to click the like button, hit subscribe, and use the bell icon so that you're notified when I post new content. And I'll see you all again in the next video. I got a couple of cool pedals that I'm aching to run a video on, just haven't had time. I've got the Octafuzz, which is the replication of what Jimi Hendrix used on some of his songs like Purple Haze, and as I mentioned, that Timmy distortion pedal, which is also pretty cool. I got a new Honeytone mini amp that my friend at Demonic Sweaters gave me, and a little looper pedal that he gave me too. So a couple of new pieces of equipment that I want to try out when I get a little bit of time, and I'll post those reviews back here on the channel. Thanks and have a great one.